Welcome back to the Line Table. The State Education Department set off a firestorm this week by releasing proposed changes to the science teaching standards. Those standards haven't been modified in almost 15 years, but critics say those proposed changes are politically motivated. And Diane, some of the changes include phrases like a rise in global temperatures to temperature fluctuations, changing it, or process of evolution will become biological diversity. But the one I want to start with is the age of planet Earth itself, that science has, I don't know, sort of figured out almost 4.6, billion years, but somehow it's not that old somehow. And that's been struck from the wording as well. On an overall sense, how does this hit you when you see something like this?
I am absolutely astonished about this whole process and this whole story. To me, science particularly is where you present all the facts. Mm-hmm. You don't change the facts to meet your preference. Mm-hmm. And I know that's happened through the years. People write history books, and we certainly change history a great deal.
That's right.
But the point of science education and education in general should be teaching young people how to think and evaluate. Give them all the facts. Kids are smarter than you think. We ought to give them everything that's there. Mm-hmm. And I like the idea of preparing them, this next generation science standards, preparing them for the future that we have, the current, present, and the future, because economics, we're moving in the direction of science, engineering.
That's right.
We need to be equipping our children the very best we can. And the other point that concerns me a great deal about this is the message we're sending so far as economic development. We've just made a big to-do about bringing Jeff Bezos and Amazon to New Mexico. That's right. And he's a very strong advocate for the next generation science standards. And so what kind of message are we sending about how we're going to train our children for the future?
Dee, pick up on that if you would. I mean, we're a science state. We like to consider ourselves. We've
Earlier this year, I went to the March for Science downtown in Albuquerque, and it's really struck me as how much our state is grounded in science. There were people there from of all different political stripes, I think, from Sandia, from Los Alamos, from engineers, physicists, nuclear folks, and to have our science standards dumbed down in the face of our culture here, in our scientific culture here, is pretty astounding. And already I think the Los Alamos Foundation has expressed outrage. The science teachers are in disbelief. It's like, the flat earthers have come back. And
let me ask you this. What do you make of the idea that climate change in particular, the wording's been kind of mucked around with? Is that, for you, what does that mean for you?
I'm less surprised at that than I am at the age of the Earth and the disputing evolution.
Right.
I mean, those are things that, were subject of the Scopes trial back in the 1920s. Right. And there really is only a pretty small proportion of people that believe those things are based in evidence. That's what I think of New Mexico and the relevance of our scientific heritage here is that we believe in evidence.
That's right.
We believe in facts. We also believe in diversity of opinion. But when it comes down to it, science is the bottom line, and obviously it is not for this administration. But that has very grave implications for our students beyond science, and that is, as Diane mentioned, the ability to think critically, the ability to distinguish between fact and opinion. And I think we're seeing that bleed over into people's ability to be good citizens, as well as good students or good scientists.
Interesting point there. Daniel, the idea of getting politics into education, politics has always been in education. And none of us here at this table are watching or naive on that point, but is there a line crossed for you here on this, or is this simply flexibility on allowing students to kind of get both sides of something and being good students, hash it out for themselves, and that kind of a thing.
Well, I
what's your
think,
take
you know,
on it?
I think at the end of the day, we haven't looked at working with this, you know, with this, the science and math stuff for 15 plus years. And so they're making a move to have this conversation about what it should be. You know, it doesn't, you know, the real thing, it doesn't matter what the state says they're teaching. It's the teachers in the classroom. You know, the teachers in the classroom have
point
the
there.
ability to bring the conversation full circle,
Right.
have these conversations. You know, do I think that we should be, you know, wiping away the fact that we're, you know, the Earth is 4 billion years old versus the Earth is whatever, you know, someone else says it is. I mean, I think it's just, I think it's a model for the conversation. I do think what's interesting is that what we're seeing is when it comes to the climate change and things like that, you know, it's really a new religion. You know, it really is. I mean, it's either look, you 100% believe the world is coming to an end and it's human enhanced and global warming is the problem, and that's what we should be harping on everybody about. Or, you know, the people that think, hey, it's cyclical and this is what happens and the earth fluctuates, they've lost their mind. And so, you know, at the end of the day, I think creating an atmosphere for the kids to have the conversation, the teachers have the ability to input and have these conversations. And most importantly, regardless of what they change the science standards to, you've got, you know, you're able to bring in, just like we hear with this, with history and we hear with everything else, you bring the topics to the table to have the conversation, and you entice the kids to learn and figure out and discuss more.
That's right.
I think at the end of the day, what you're seeing, it really is, this is more politically driven
Right.
than it is educationally driven.
Okay. Are you okay? Again, I asked the same question. Has a line been crossed for you on that, or?
No, I think it's politically driven by both sides.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's just an example that everybody's more engaged in the political side of this than they are the true educational
Okay,
aspect.
I hear where you're coming from. So, with the idea again that, you know, climate change is a debatable subject, certainly we'll give Dan and what he represents his due, certainly. But when you talk about the 10 hottest years in record have come since 1998.
Yeah.
And we are now in our third year in a row of record temperatures in our third year that's just happened. It's a hard sell, isn't it, to say something is not going on here that's just about fluctuation. How do we get to the center of this argument?
And I have to
then?
say, I take real exception to Dan's characterization of climate change as a religion. It is a fact-based inquiry instead. And it reminds me, actually, this discussion reminds me of one of my favorite pieces in The Onion, which is a satirical website and newspaper. It's a photo, and the headline says, "Christian scientist pharmacist not required to fill any prescriptions." And it feels to me with this set of standards that essentially what they're saying is non-believing scientists, like so somebody who's a science teacher, not required to teach science. That's what it feels like to me. I can make the choice based on local standards that I'm going to say the year is 6,000, the Earth is 6,000 years old. I'm going to say evolution doesn't exist because I'm allowed to based on these standards. In fact, it may even be mandated because of the tenor of my community. We shouldn't be in a position where we're saying science teacher does not have to teach actual science.
Right.
That seems extremely short-sighted. And to say, oh, this is about community standards, that's nice that your community or portions of your community may feel that it's okay to teach things that are not actually scientifically accurate, but it keeps your students from competing in the state marketplace, the national marketplace, the global marketplace, and it holds us back as a state.
And that's where we're competing as an international marketplace, isn't it now? The Education Department is collecting public opinion on these proposed changes through the middle of October. Head to MexicoInFocus.org to find out how you can weigh in on the issue.